I started my gaming career back in early 2018. Being completely new to PC, I had no idea what good peripherals were, so I decided to buy this cheap mouse from Amazon because it had a really cool logo on it. But after realizing how shit the mouse I had bought actually was, I decided to get an adequate gaming mouse. So after major research, I decided to pick up a Zowie Z813. Now I love this mouse so much, in fact, that it was the only mouse I used when I uploaded nothing but Rainbow Six, and this is honestly the best mouse I have ever had, and I loved it to death. After a few years with the mouse, however, I noticed that it started to spin out, especially mid-game. This was a problem due to the sliming I did while aiming while playing Siege over the years, and of course it might have hurt my mouse in the long run. And I knew it was time for a new mouse, and even though I love this mouse to death, I wanted to try something new and fresh. I also wanted something that had a big approval rating from the majority of people that used it and the pros. So instead of buying a new copy of my Zowie Z813, I decided to follow the hype and get myself the Logitech G Pro Wireless. Now when I first got the mouse, I thought it was the most incredible mouse I had ever used, and I was most likely right. The Logitech G Pro is a marvel when it comes to gaming mice. It's one of the first wireless mice that honestly perfected wireless gaming, with a long battery life and an excellent shape for most users. Almost everybody loved this mouse, and so did I. Now before I get further into my story, I do have to mention the grip I have on my mouse, which is a claw grip. Claw grip is when you curl up your fingers like a claw to grip the mouse in a tightish fashion. Anyway, after about 5 months with the G Pro, however, I started to notice something weird. I began missing a lot of my shots that I wouldn't normally miss, and I didn't know what was causing it. Now, I'm the type of player who doesn't have bad days on games, but bad weeks, and I go through weeks sometimes on ruts where I just can't hit anything for me, and it's hard for me to make content and get clips. So I began to wonder what could be causing this rut, and in a desperate attempt to fix it, I tried using my old Zowie Z813 instead of the normal G Pro that I used every day. And that's when I noticed something that I hadn't been doing in months. I was actually in full control of my mouse for a change. So ever since I got my G Pro wireless, I knew that it did not fit into my claw grip style. While others were able to use it and claw it effectively, I just couldn't no matter how much I tried. I noticed this almost right away, but I thought I would get used to it. Thinking about how many pros use it and get incredible results with it, I thought there was no way I couldn't make it work. After paying $150 for it, I thought I would have to get used to it, but I never did. In all honesty, I just really didn't like the mouse. I felt bad because even when you search up the mouse on Google, it is extremely hard to find any negative comments about the Logitech G Pro. It's that day that I learned a very important lesson, and that's to not focus on the hype around the peripherals you buy or how many pros use it. When it comes to mice, you have to try them out before buying them, and it seems that nowadays everybody loves to talk about wireless mice and how light they are, but I think the shape is the biggest component to getting the max potential out of your aim. It wasn't until I got to Valorant, which is a heavily intensive aim game, that I noticed just how out of touch I was with the mouse I was using. Make sure to do your research and try out the mice you buy in order to reach your highest potential. If you want my recommendation for mice, you should definitely try a Zowie brand mouse. They most likely have a shape for you that you would love. They have so many in fact that you can actually order a kit with all the mice they sell, try them out, and keep the one you want while shipping the rest back. You only pay for the one you keep. If you want to try a Logitech, you can even go to Best Buy since they have a lot of options you can try out in store. Now I know the video was a bit random, but I just really wanted to share my story to hopefully help you guys with your gaming and maybe even save you some money before you make a purchase you might regret. Test everything before you buy it. Make sure you try out the shape because that's the most important part of the mouse, and the weight and everything else comes after. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I'm gonna order the Zowie Z812. I think it's a little bit bigger than the Z813, and I will let you all know how that is. My other option was the 703, the G703, but I think I'm gonna go with the Zowie instead. But I might get both, who knows. Anyways guys, I hope you all enjoyed the video. I will see you all in the next one. Make sure to wash your hands, and you all have a good one, boys.